Hello and welcome to that special program that prioritizes you. And it's this platform where we talk about our body. Welcome to you and your body. And of course, you are onto Immaculate Television Station. And I am your host, Miracle Adeniyi. All right, on You and Your Body, we enlighten you, we give you useful tips and give you useful tips on how we can enhance our body emotionally, physically, and otherwise, and of course mentally. All right, for some episodes now, we have been considering essential food minerals and the wonderful nutrients, the wonderful things they do to our body. And of course, today we are also looking at another food nutrient, and we will see the numerous ways where these food nutrients are so useful and so beneficial to our body. And of course, the first food nutrient for today is iodine. All right. Iodine is a food mineral found in some foods. Okay, not all foods contain iodine. All right, the body needs iodine to make thyroid hormones. All right, what are thyroid hormones? Thyroid hormones are that hormones that control the metabolism of the body. All right, and it also does several other functions. The body needs thyroid hormones for proper bone and proper brain development. Okay, so as you know, the body contains so many hormones, and one of it is thyroid hormones, and these thyroid hormones are produced by the help of iodine. And iodine is a food nutrient, all right, is one of the food nutrients that helps in the proper brain and bone development of an individual. All right, secondly, during pregnancy and infancy, all right, this iodine is very essential during pregnancy and infancy. Getting enough iodine is important for everyone, most especially the pregnant woman and the lactating woman. Of course, that's someone who is breastfeeding. Okay, so when you're breastfeeding, you know that iodine is very important for you. Okay, now iodine, we're considering the food nutrient iodine, the food mineral iodine. Who are those that are susceptible to iodine deficiency? What state can an individual be and he is prone to iodine deficiency? People who do not eat iodized salt. Okay, iodized salt is one of the common ways where you can get iodine into your body. All right, adding iodized salt to your meal is very essential. It's widely used to control iodine deficiency. Okay, so when next you go to the market to get your salt, ensure that you look at the sachet very well and ensure that the salt you are purchasing is iodized salt. All right, secondly, who are those who are susceptible to being iodine deficient? Secondly, they are those that eat few or no dairy products at all. All right, you don't eat the meat, you don't eat the fish, you don't eat your eggs. Okay, they are prone to iodine deficiency. All right, then thirdly, who are those that are prone to iodine deficiency? People living in regions with iodine deficient soils. All right, and one beautiful thing is that the soil where we plant our food contains iodine. I don't know if you knew that before. All right, you are knowing that now. Okay, the soil we plant our foods contains iodine. All right, so when these soils contain iodine, of course, the food that are produced from such soils will definitely contain iodine. Okay, but those that live in regions where they have low iodine in their soils, definitely they are susceptible to iodine deficiency. Okay, and you can find such in regions like mountainous areas, okay, such as Himalayas, the Alps, and the Andes region. Okay, so in such situations, when they found themselves in, they find themselves having soils that are very low in the iodine quantity, what can be done is that they have to supplement, all right, because iodine is very, very essential for the body. Like I told you at the beginning, it helps, iodine helps in building the thyroid hormones. And secondly, it also in a pregnant woman can cause permanent harm to the fetus. Okay, that unborn baby in the womb of a pregnant woman, if that pregnant woman does not have enough iodine, okay, it could cause a permanent harm to the fetus. And what does it do? It causes stunted growth. Okay, so that fetus, that unborn baby in the womb, is at the risk of being stunted. Okay, is likely to be born stunted, and of course might remain stunted. Okay, so you can see that something as simple as a food mineral iodine, it goes a very long way to help. Okay, it goes a very long way to determine the outcome of a child who has a life to live, who has a full life to live. Okay, so if that iodine is deficient in the body system of the mother carrying that fetus, okay, it could result in stunted growth of that baby. Okay, so you can see that this food mineral iodine is very, very important. All right, secondly, secondly, another effect of iodine deficiency is that it can lead to intellectual disability in a child. All right, when a child is growing up and doesn't have enough iodine in the body, okay, it can lead to intellectual disability. All right, when that child ought to have been counting numbers, ought to have been relating with people in the environment, hello, hi, how are you, just some simple relational, abilities. When the iodine in the body system of that child is not enough, it could actually lead to intellectual disability in that child. Okay, and of course, iodine is not, it's actually found in basic food, all right, basic simple foods that we have all around us. All right, so having this information and choosing your food rightly, okay, as I always say on this program, having the information, we bring this information to you so that you can have it on your fingertips, and you use it for your own good. All right, so when you have this information, you are better positioned, okay, to choose rightly. Okay, you know what a growing child needs. You know, not all the, of course, the ice creams, the junks, they are beautiful, they are wonderful, of course, they are so good. But you also come to the realization that the food nutrients, those essential nutrients, are contained majorly not in junks, but in the raw, simple food that we find in the market. All right, the vegetables, the fruits. Okay, so we're bringing this information to you so that you can choose rightly. Okay, so that you can make the right choice. So a deficiency in iodine can lead to intellectual disability in a child. And another effect of iodine deficiency is that it can result in delayed sexual development of the child. Okay, as the child grows up, it gets to a time the sexual organs begin to, of course, develop. All right, but when there is a delay, the child is clocking 13, 14, 15, 16, and the things that should be occurring sexually in the child is not there. You know that there is the likelihood of iodine deficiency in that child. Okay, so well, we are bringing this ahead so that if you are among those who have children, of course, while you get this information, these useful tips that we are bringing to you, you know how to choose your foods with which you feed your growing ones. Okay, number 4 effect of iodine deficiency. Iodine deficiency can also cause lower than average IQ in infants and children. Okay, lower than average IQ. That's intelligence quotient. Okay, when the intelligence quotient of a child is lower than average, not even at average, is already lower than average, you know that there is likelihood of iodine deficiency in that child. Okay, a child of 2 years should be able to understand some simple statements like go, come, welcome, responding to smiles, to cheering, to gestures, but when there is a iodine deficiency in that child, the child will not be able to communicate, okay, would not be able to, respond appropriately. And it's like this iodine is really it seems to be so it seems to be so useful for the growing children. Okay, because we have seen that it can lead to intellectual disability in a child. Okay, it can lead to delayed sexual development in a child. Okay, and also we are now seeing that it could cause the child to have a lower than average intelligence quotient. Okay, so you can now see that growing children, aside the lactating, that's the breastfeeding mother, and the pregnant mother, and of course the fetus in her womb, you can see that growing children also needs this iodine so much. Okay, now the 5th effect of iodine deficiency is that in adults it could cause a decreased ability to work. Okay, the person might not really be able to carry out some duties that he or she should carry out, and also it can lead to decreased ability to think clearly. Okay, the person might not be able to think clearly. Probably there could be some interrupting, thoughts and the rest. All right, the thought process is not clear enough. Okay, it might just be a deficiency of iodine. All right, number 6 effect of iodine deficiency is that it could cause an enlarged thyroid. Okay, it could cause an enlarged thyroid. All right, we have seen that iodine is so very important in the body. Okay, but the caveat there is that too much of iodine also is not good. All right, so you don't listen to the program and the next thing, oh, iodine, and you dive at everything as iodine and just start it. No. Of course, as I always say here, taking the right food nutrients in the right quantity is just the best. And the wonderful thing is that these food nutrients are available in our regular food that we eat. Okay, so if you are one that you eat your natural foods regularly and you eat it in the rightly processed way, especially for vegetables, you would realize that all the nutrients that are embedded in those foods, those natural foods, you would get to assess them. All right, you will assess all the food nutrients and the food minerals in those food. Okay, so food minerals are best gotten from foods that are eaten regularly. Okay, it only gets the only time that one might need a supplement and need extra is probably when the person cannot possibly meet the required, cannot possibly get the required amount. All right, for instance, a woman who is pregnant, you know, she's eating not just for herself, she's also eating for her unborn baby. And some could be pregnant with 2, some carrying 3, some 4, or even 5 children at a time. Okay, so you know she needs the food nutrients that will be sufficient for those, if especially if it's a multiple birth, she needs the food nutrients that will be sufficient for all the children in her womb, and of course for herself. All right, so in such situations, the doctors that are attending to her, of course, would place her on food supplements. All right, but other than that, a situation where one is pregnant and the rest, eating your regular food, preparing it in the right way, it's sufficient. You get sufficient food nutrients from those foods. Okay, let's go to some fruits and some vegetables that contains iodine. All right, some of the fruits, let's begin with the fruits. Some of the fruits that contains iodine include bananas. All right, your regular bananas that you buy in the market contains iodine. Okay, prunes, raisins, strawberries, garlic, spinach, and of course the soya beans. Okay, these are some of the foods that contains iodine. Okay, moving on, we also have the fish, we have the shrimp, and of course seafoods generally. Okay, seaweeds, they contain iodine. Also dairy products like the milk, the yogurt, the cheese, the eggs. Okay, like we said at the beginning, those who are susceptible to iodine deficiency, one of them are those who do not take in dairy products like the fish, the milk, and the egg. Probably feeds majorly on vegetables. Okay, so this goes to buttress the fact that these dairy products contain lots and lots of iodine. Okay, and another very, very important source of iodine is your basic salts. Okay, the salt you eat with, the salt you cook with. Okay, it contains iodine. Okay, it's one of the ways where so many people are being fed with iodine. Of course, you cook regularly with salt, of course not too much, in the normal amount of salt, and of course that regular normal amount of salt contains the needed iodine in there. Okay, so all you need to do is when you go purchase your salt, just make sure you check the sachet. Okay, look out for that information and that assurance that this salt I'm purchasing contains iodine. If you have never done that before, if you're in the office right now, or if you're at home, just walk to when you finish listening to this program, of course, walk to your kitchen and you check your salt pack to confirm if that salt you have been buying is iodized salt. Okay, ensure that you buy iodized salt, because through that means you are nourishing yourself with this wonderful food mineral called the iodine. All right, so that's it about the iodine. Okay, and our next food mineral which we will be considering is the fluoride. Okay, fluoride. Are you surprised that fluoride is a food mineral? Okay, most people know fluoride in regards to the toothpaste. Okay, fluoride is actually a food mineral. All right, fluoride is a trace mineral naturally found in small amounts in variety of foods. Okay, there are several foods that contains fluoride. Okay, it is most recognized for its role in preventing and reversing dental caries, and of course building strong bones and strong teeth. All right, and this fluoride is usually stored in the bones and in the teeth of an individual. Okay, now the fluoride, of course, as I said earlier, fluoride is contained in our regular food that we eat, and the soil, the water we drink, the plants, and of course the food that we eat contains some trace amount of fluoride. It might not really be so like I said, trace amount. Okay, it's not too much, but it's there. Okay, it's present there. It's present there in the soil, the soil which we use in planting what we grow. It's also present in the water that we drink. Okay, fluoride is there, and of course the plants, and of course the food that these plants produce. All right, now fluoride, though fluoride level in water is not enough to prevent tooth decay. Okay, is not enough to prevent tooth decay. So that's why you know that, of course, preventing tooth decay, you have to go use much more than the one that is present in the water that we drink. Okay, and on the other hand, you can't say fluoride is one of the food minerals, is good, and when you brush your teeth, okay, let me just swallow some fluoride. No, not at all. Okay, fluoride, when it's of course excessive in the body, is not good. All right, it's just useful for your teeth. That's why when you brush, you ensure that you spit out the toothpaste, and of course you rinse thoroughly. Okay, because too much fluoride in the body, of course, is not good. Okay, so let's look at some foods and some drinks that contains fluoride. Okay, first on our list is potatoes. Potatoes, they are wonderful sources of fluoride in the body. Okay, secondly is the oatmeal. The oatmeal, it contains fluoride. The raisins, the black tea, and of course coffee contains some amount of fluoride. All right, the fluoridated water. Okay, there are some waters that are fluoridated. Okay, they contain fluoride. All right, some fruits that contains fluorides are strawberries. Strawberries, the apples, the regular apples that you just get from your grocery store, they contain fluoride as well. The bananas also contains fluoride, watermelon, and of course cherries, which is known in the local parlance of the Yoruba speaking as agbalumo. Cherry contains fluoride. All right, so these are wonderful food mineral. They do so much good to the body. Okay, so we have looked at the iodine, okay, doing so much to the growing child. Okay, that's why as an informed person, you have to do things, you have to look very well, as I specified the salt, the cooking salt we use in the kitchen. Ensure that when you go to purchase yours, you check out the label and ensure that this salt I'm purchasing is iodized salt, because from there you could get very good sources of iodine, and it's very good for the growing child. It prevents stunted growth. It prevents a lower than average intelligent quotient in a child. And of course, for that pregnant woman and that lactating mother, the breastfeeding mother, iodine is very, very essential. Okay, so just before we wrap it up on today's episode, for some time now, we have been looking at the several food nutrients, okay, and we started from the food nutrient sodium, okay, sodium. I told you on that episode that sodium is necessary for proper fluid balance in the body, okay. If you could remember, sodium is necessary for proper fluid balance in the body. Also, it's necessary for nerve transmission, okay. If you could remember, I told you when something happens probably on the toe, it transmits that information straight to the brain, okay. Or probably you hit your toe somewhere, the information is transmitted in a very, splits of seconds to the brain. And of course, quickly you look at it. Oh, what is this that you've touched or thereabout? Okay, so sodium is one of the food minerals that help in this nerve transmission and of course muscle contraction. When you engage in your exercise, you're walking, all right, your muscle is contracting, okay, it's contracting. Of course, this sodium is very, very important in muscle contraction. Okay, we also looked at calcium and we saw that calcium is important for healthy bones and healthy teeth. All right. And we also, in our very last episode, we looked at the food mineral phosphorus, all right? And we saw that phosphorus is essential for how the body stores and uses energy. And of course, today we have looked at the food mineral iodine, all right, and of course the fluoride. Okay, so I hope you're really making the best out of this very information, these useful tips that we are bringing to you on this platform, you and your body. Okay, so make good use of them. On our next episode, keep being your best. I am your host, Miracle Adeniyi. Thanks for watching.